Hello budget people and welcome back to my channel. I'm She's on a Budget and today we are going to do a recap of week 1 and begin our budget for week 2. So let's get into it. So this is a list of all the transactions or expenses that I have made this week, and the way that I will fill this in is that I'll look into my cash envelopes and I'll see if I have any receipts from each category. And if I do, I will then use those to fill in the log. So I've got a few receipts here. I'm just going to take those to fill in the log. So let's start. So I can see the first receipt was on the 20th. And it was for £7, and the category was food. So that's the envelope that I took the amount out of, and this came under takeaway. So that was for takeaway. The second one I have is again for, oh, it's on the same date, for the 20th. And this was for £3.06. And this was taken from the food envelope again. And this was Etsy. What I will be doing soon is creating a cash envelope for spending, because really this shouldn't come out of food. The reason why I chose to make this purchase really was because I had a little bit of money left over. Well, I'll show you that in a second. But really, I should have a spending envelope for things like that. Then on the 21st, I bought some shopping and it came to £9.72. That was out of the food envelope. That was in Aldi. And then on the 21st again, I bought some more food, which was £6.20. And that was from Tesco. Okay, so I've listed my purchases. What I'll do now is I will open up my planner and go to this section here. So I'm just going to move it over and I'll show you that this is just a check-in page for me to put down and see clearly week by week where the money's going and how much I literally have left over, if there is any money left over. So for food, I'm going to just total up the amount I used. So for food, I used £3.06, £9.72 and £6.20. So that gives me £25.98. So put £25.98 here. And my budget for food last week was £40. So 40 minus £25.98 will give me £14.02 left. Let me just double check that that is actually in my cash envelope. So I go into there, I've got 10. And I've got 1, 2, 3, £4.02. So that's what's left over. So I'm just going to put that back in the envelope for now. Okay, fuel. As you can see, I didn't have any receipts for fuel. That's because I've still got my £20 that I had budgeted from last week in there. I didn't actually use any, well, I used petrol, but I didn't actually need to fill up. So I didn't spend anything for petrol. So I've got £20 left there. And we didn't have anything in sinking funds from last week. So that stays zero. And that will then mean that there's zero left in there. So So just put this one side. I hope you can see clearly. All I have done so far is I've listed my transactions, the dates when I made those purchases, the amounts, which envelope I took the money out of, and then I also put a description of what they actually were. So why did I actually make the purchase in the first place? And then over here, because that was for week 1, I've listed the envelopes that I had and the expenses that I made, so the total expense and how much was left in each envelope. Okay, so let's move on to week 2. So same format as last week. I've put down the date that this budget will be running from. So I've got December 27th until the 2nd. So this budget is running between those dates, 27th to the 2nd. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these bits in. So for this week, you can see I am only listing down debts 5 to 8. And this is because, as I said last week to you, I do not need to make a payment for each debt every week. So some of the debts are monthly, some of them I have divided into 4 or 5, and I make a weekly payment towards them. So that's why these debts I will be making on a weekly basis, whereas debts 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, they are only needed to be paid monthly. I hope that's clear. Okay, so let's get started. So for this week, for debt 5, total I'll be paying for that is $275. And then 6 is 20. 7 is £6. And 8 is £15. So the total will be is £43 and 75 pence. Okay, I'm just going to move that up. Okay, and for bills this week, actually, let me just slide over and then you can see I'm going to put my income in first. So for income, I've worked out that my income for this week is $251.48. And just in case this is your first video, this income, last week I was paid from my main job, so my full-time job, I was paid last week. This, and also I was made, my husband, my son, he contributes towards housekeeping, so he made, my income was made up of a mixture of my salary, his contribution, and also, as I said, I tutor part-time. So the incomes vary, the amounts vary, and that is why some weeks the amount will be quite big and other weeks not so much. So it varies because it is made up of a mixture of different things. So this week it isn't as great as last week, but still we have some money coming in, which is great. So yeah, the income this week is $251.48. So let me slide back to bills so I can work out exactly how much is coming out of that. So for bills, I have got, so tithe will be 10%, so that's 25. Food is 40. Utilities be 20. And fuel, again, I think the reason why I didn't use so much fuel last week was because I spent most of my week at family, away at family's home, so I haven't really driven my car as much. And the same will probably happen next week. I'm still on holiday, so I won't be using as much petrol as I usually do. So I'm only going to put down £10 for this week. And insurance is 16.20. Okay, so I'm just going to total this up.
Okay, so we've got 25, add 40, add 20, add 10, add £16.20, which will be, let me just double check, 25, add 40, add 20, add 10, add £16.20.
Is 111.20. Okay, so I'm just going to now, I'm going to add my debt totaled with my bills total to get a total amount for bills. So I'm going to add 43.75, £111.20, and that gives me 154.95. So let me just subtract these two from each other. So 251.48 minus 154.95 will give me £96.53 left over. So that's what's left over. Now to decide what I do with this amount. I'm not going to put any money in sinking funds again. I know, it's fine. And the reason why I'm not going to do that is because I already know what money I should have coming in next week. So we'll fill those up to the limit that I want to put in for the month next week. So I don't need to worry about that this week. What I am going to do is I'm just going to put that total amount with the emergency fund payment I made last week to try and bump this up as quickly as possible to 500. So last week I had, how much was in there? So we had 108. So I'm going to add the 96.53. So I think it was 108. Let me just double check. What was it last week? Yeah. So it was 108.06. I'm going to add 96.53, and that would give me 204.59 in there. Okay, so that feels good. That feels good. I can actually see this is growing, which makes me feel really good. It shouldn't be too long before this will be finished as well. And then any extra money will be going into here. So fingers crossed, as of next week, this will be done. Okay, so now we are going to stuff our cash envelopes. So the only expenses that I use envelopes for are tithe, food, utilities, and fuel. I've also got cash envelopes for birthdays, car maintenance, and canoe comps, but they are sinking funds. So let's have a look at how much money I need to take out of the bank in order to fill these up. So for tithe, it's £25. So just put 20, 10s, 5s, and 1s. So I need one £20 note and one 5. For food, I need two £20 notes. For utilities, I need one £20 note, and for fuel, I need a £10 note. So in total, I need £80 in 20s, 10s, I need 10, and just one £5. So in total I need 95 in cash, no ones. Okay, so I'm going to pop along to the bank and withdraw that amount, and I'll be back to stuff my envelopes. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're back. I have created a new cash envelope, so I've put down Debt Snowball, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that today. But my other sinking fund envelopes, they won't be used today, as you know, because we are not putting anything into them this week. So let's start with tithe. Tithe on my list, I can see I need to put £25 in there. So I've got 20 going in there. My £5. Okay, so that goes here. Utilities, I'm putting £20 in there as well. Goes there. Fuel, so I've already got £20 in here. What I will do though is I'm going to take that out, put that to one side, and I'm going to replace it with £10, and I'll show you what I'll do with that money in a second. So that goes here. And then for food, again, I'm going to take out the £14 and 2 pence, just put it to one side for now, and I'm going to put my £40 that I budgeted for this week inside of it. Okay, so I've got my food, fuel, utilities and tithe all done. So I'm going to put those to one side. Now the money that I had left over from last week, I'm going to actually add it into this Debt Snowball envelope. And what I will do is each week, if I have any money left over, I will put it into my Debt Snowball envelope, and I will use that as an additional payment that I make towards debt at the end of each month. So sometimes, obviously it will vary, but sometimes I won't be able to put anything in there, and that's fine, but it actually helps me, obviously, if I can put as much money, any spare money towards debt. So any leftovers will be going into this envelope. So this week I'm putting in £30, £34 and 2 pence. Okay. That's all for now, guys. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe to this channel, and let me know if this video was useful. Have a good week.